Hello, my name's Gavin, this is Genre Books, and it's Tuesday. It's Tag Tuesday, and I was tagged a couple of weeks ago now by Aaron read a book with his The BookTuber Name Tag 2025, an all-new original tag. Here he has taken some booktubers' names, extrapolated prompts from those booktubers' names, and challenged us to meet those prompts. He very kindly picked me as one of the prompts, but we'll get to that in due course. There are 9 prompts in total, and the first prompt is Books and Bocadillos. It's Mary Andrea's channel, and the prompt here is a book which features or is about food. Now, I had a food prompt a couple of weeks ago, and it took me ages to think of something which a book I have that involved food. So to find a second one was proving a little bit of a challenge. So I took the easy way out, and I've chosen a cookbook because it's a book. It's not just any cookbook though. This is Delia Smith's complete cookery course. Delia, or Saint Delia as she is known in the UK, has been doing television cookery presentation for decades. And as you can see, this is a book that gets a fair amount of use, so highly recommended. Prompt number 2, genre books. Hello. A book you like in a genre you don't often read. I don't often read biography. I don't often read literary biography. I've spoken about this literary biography before, but I will talk about it again. Brian Masters' The Life of E.F. Benson. This is about E.F. Benson, but about the rest of his family as well. And it is a completely fascinating read. A family of complete overachievers, and not without their issues and demons. Prompt number 3, Bookstalgic, a book that makes you feel nostalgic. I'm going to go for something not entirely original, but really does fit the prompt, and that for me is Douglas Adams and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You could talk about the whole series, but I think I'll just concentrate on that first book or two from the series. It is inextricably linked with learning to love reading for me. It has all sorts of humour. It is a parody of science fiction, but it is a fantastic science fiction book. It has silly humour, which will appeal to the younger readers. It has more sophisticated humour and satire, which will appeal to older readers. And it still teaches us lessons today. An alien race composed of bureaucrats. A galaxy so misguided it has elected an absolutely unsuitable clown and criminal as their president. An Earth which gets destroyed. I don't think that's a spoiler, it happens pretty soon in the book. Supposedly superior beings putting all of their faith into artificial intelligence, but forgetting to ask it the right questions and the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything. Prompt number 4, Books, Songs and Other Magic. So, Gareth's channel. A book about music or magic, or featuring music or magic, or both. I'm going to stick with the music, and I don't think I've shown these books on the channel before. They are chunky books, and my goal for these books is to read them before I die. But this is Richard Taraskin's. This is the Oxford History of Western Music, Volume 1, Music from the Earliest Notations to the 16th Century. Volume 2, Music in the 17th and 18th centuries. Volume 3, Music in the 19th century. Volume 4, Music in the early 20th century. And Volume 5, a little bit slimmer, I think probably because when it was written, the 20th century had not yet finished, but this is music in the late 20th century. Definitely one to get to when I have more time on my hands than I currently do. Prompt number 5, Passage of Time, a book set over a long period of time. I'm going to go with Childhood's End from Arthur C. Clarke, which I only read for the first time last year, and is one of the slowest invasion stories I've read. I'll qualify that. It's a story about one of the slowest invasions that I've read. The aliens turn up and sort of hang there in the air for decades. They take a long time to allow the humans to get accustomed to their presence. And they seem to have infinite patience, something the human race does not share. Prompt number 6, Your True Shelf, a book you couldn't believe was a true story. Again, I'm going for one I read last year, and that was The Richest Man in the World by Greg Steinmetz, and the subject is the financier Jacob Fugger, who was in the late medieval period and seemed to have his finger in every European pie that was going. Just the breadth of the story, the stuff he was involved in, and the fact that he's only involved in it because he has become such a canny businessman. It was a proper eye-opener, and I think a really good way of reading history. You could have taken any number of the subjects that the book brought up, with a full proper investigation into them, but looking at it through this one man, pivotal as he was in development and fall of a number of European monarchies, does really sort of give it a breadth and allows a proper investigation of the scope of what was going on at a fairly turbulent time. Prompt number 7, Spread Book Joy, a joyous book that made you happy. Watchers of this channel will know that I don't do a lot of that type of literature. I made an exception at Christmas, and the book I've chosen is one that I read over Christmas. It was The Little Story of Hope from F. Marion and Crawford. So this is very early 20th century. The version I had was a beautiful edition, lovely illustrations, a quick read, and a very pleasant, heartwarming story. Prompt number 8, Book Chat with Pat, a book with great dialogue. I'm cheating slightly because the book I'm choosing is a play, but a play is still a book, and one of my favourites in terms of linguistic back and forth is Tom Stoppard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. I read this many years ago. I've seen it performed since then. Since that point, I've seen the screen version as well, and have at that point gone back and read some of it. It's quick. It is whip smart. It is funny as anything, and in terms of dialogue, the dialogue they play almost as a game of tennis. is just an incredible scene. So yes, that's what I'm choosing. Prompt number 9, Roving Reader, a book that is set in multiple countries or lands. Well, now I'm going to talk about a book that I haven't read, either recently or decades ago, but one that I really am very keen to get to this year. I think I'm waiting for Spring into Adventure, or in the expectation that Spring into Adventure happens again. But this is James Hilton's Lost Horizon. I've seen the movie many years ago, but I'm very keen to read the book, and it is set in multiple lands. I think it starts in Singapore or possibly Japan and goes to Tibet, and from Tibet to an even more mysterious place, Shangri-La. But there we have it, 9 prompts dealt with efficiently. Thank you to Aaron Read a Book for creating this tag, and thank you to Aaron Read a Book for tagging me. I'll tag some other people and include them below the line here. But until next time, bye.